Let's talk about, on the subject of superheroes, Ron, what are some of the weirdest superheroes you know of?
I will tell you after a short break, I think.
Yeah.
Just to get
Shall
some stuff.
Shall we get in one of our messages?
Yeah, let's, and then we'll we'll take an actual break.
Yeah.
Replace the camera on the battery in the camera.
Anyway.
Do you wanna do yours?
Yeah, I'll do mine. Okay, so guys, also this video is sponsored by Swolo Gym. Are you tired of, not just being wide enough? Do you ever feel like you're too skinny, too tiny, too inadequate?
I have
well,
every day.
See? Well, now you're in luck because a new gym has opened up called the Swolo Gym. Go down to the Swolo Gym and get wide for all your wider needs. Disclaimer, this gym does not actually help benefit with any health or actually get you any buffer or actually help with any physical effects. It just makes you wider, not fatter, but wider. Thank you very much for sponsored by Swolo Gym. Part of Get Alfred, not yet ready.
Link's not in the description.
It will be. It just doesn't exist.
Not yet. We'll take care of it.
Yeah, don't worry, we'll be a thing soon. Market.
Part
blah,
2.
blah, blah, blah. So I was thinking the other day of like Wait,
you're not going to
sorry,
do this bit then.
I've got a horrible joke that I've been dying to tell someone, and now I'm going to tell you. All right, so 2 stormtroopers are standing guard at an entrance to a facility.
I think I can see where this is going, but go on.
Trust me, you don't. One stormtrooper looks at the other and goes, "So, how was your date last night?" "Yeah, it was good. Yeah, good. Where'd you take her?" "Jabba's place." "Ah, I heard about that. It's really good." "Yeah." "What did you order?" "Wookiee steak." "Oh yeah, what was that like?" "Kind of chewy." Yes.
God. Oh God. But you know what? I think that is a good joke.
Thank you.
It's actually really bad, but I'm still enjoying the joke.
It's bad when you think like that. What it requires.
All right, well.
There we go. Sorry.
There we go. We're
back.
I
had to get that joke out of my system.
So that's a good joke. Obviously, feel really good about that. Feeling pretty happy, I suppose, which is great because that means we can go right into our next sponsor. So. I think we both feel pretty good.
Yeah.
Which is great because feeling good is great. At the same time, it's not so great when you think about, if you're a writer and you have to write something really tragic, then obviously like these positive emotions don't really help. That's where these guys come in, Depression Pill. They made a pill that makes you more depressed, so you can get into the right mindset of mostly writing. Or if you feel like your endorphins are going a bit crazy, you can tone yourself down. Maybe you're about to go on a date, you can take these pills to stop giggling like a little girl, something like that. So I'm going to demonstrate now how it works. It's really easy. You just take one pill, like that. Swallow with water, nothing special.
Just like your average everyday pill.
I mean, it kind of hurt my throat, which makes me a little bit, it brings me down a bit, so I think it's working already. No, I'm still smoking, aren't I? So, anyways, they also told me to disclose some side effects. So they said, may cause permanent sadness, they might cause diarrhea, fair enough, and it might
lose the will to live.
Yeah, you lose the will to live. Also, they said, we're sorry we let you down. So,
what do you mean by that?
Don't know. Guess we'll find out. Anyway, that's our sponsored message. As always, link is not really in this description.
Not yet, because
they don't really want to be found.
And they don't want to be funded because, they're depressed with their product. So, that's probably a good sign.
But anyway. So, yeah.
Let's get...
Depression Pill. Get down.
Now, and boogie.
Well, don't boogie.
No, don't boogie. Just sort of cry, maybe, at a corner store. But anyway, let's get into weird superheroes
Yes.
that maybe should or should not exist.
Right.
Quick little note about this. Ron has found them. A list of them. Made a list of them.
A couple of good ones.
I do not know any of them. I may know a few of them, but I don't know the list. A few of them.
I'll start with the ones that you know, which are not listed here, but I happen to know off the top of my head.
Quick thing. This is not in terms of just the concept of heroes. It's more about also what maybe their abilities there are, what side effects, maybe their name as well.
These particular superheroes, in any case.
Because I might throw in one or two if he doesn't mention that I just
so we're going to start off with the one that we discovered a couple of days ago called Animal Man.
Animal Man!
Animal Man from DC.
DC Comics.
Basically, his power is when he touches an animal, he gets the superpower that comes with the animal. So like if he touches a jaguar or something, he runs really fast. If he touches an eagle, he flies. If he touches an ant, he gets a proportional strength of an ant.
Yeah.
Which sounds really cool. It sounds really cool, but it's actually really stupid if you think about it.
Yeah, because I'm not sure how it works in the comics. I think in the comics he doesn't have to touch them, but we thought in terms of if it were a movie, we wanted to make, because it's actually a movie I want to make, I would have it that he has to touch them. And people think, that's fine. He has to physically touch the animal that's near. So basically, if he's in the middle of a fight with someone, and the only animal near him is a pigeon, thing is, this pigeon's not going to stay still for him as well. He has to run after this animal to touch it. So this could go really badly for him. And that was sort of my thinking, is that he is a ridiculous hero, because if he has to touch the animal to get their superpowers, basically, if he lives in England, what the fuck is he going to touch? A rat? A pigeon? A badger? A fox? I mean, if you live in Africa, you're set.
Imagine a mid-battle as well, like on a deserted island. There's not much you could do there, Are
there any snakes? No. Lizards? No. There's a shark there, though. I'll swim out to it. Give me a minute.
So that's Animal Man for you. Second, a beloved hero, but you may not think that he's ridiculous, but we'll have a bit of mental gym here.
Yeah.
Flash. You think he's a great hero because he...
Bear with us.
We
do have logic to this.
He's really fast. So fast that he has like reality-altering proportions.
Very powerful superhero, we're not denying that.
When you think about it though, everything about him is fast, right? He lives fast, he thinks fast, he digests fast. So that means he needs to eat a lot. I think I read somewhere he has to eat like the equivalent of like 800 tacos a day. Where does that go? I mean, some of it gets converted to energy, obviously, but like that means that
that's a lot of shits in one day.
That means that if he was a real, actual like existing superhero, every time he would come to the battlefield, everyone would be like, "Oh, come on, we need to band together and fight Darkseid. Okay, Flash, you need to run really fast." And he's like, "Hang on just a second," and then he poops, comes back, and he goes, "Hang on just a second," and then he has to poop again, and he has to run back and forth from the toilet. It's not a good superpower.
Just the whole Wild League is having their asses kicked by Darkseid, and like, Flash, you need to run a circle around that boom tube and reverse the polarity, and it'll suck it. You just need to run. It's like,
yeah.
You guys got any toilet paper? What? I ran out. So, oddly enough, like, he's got one of the most interesting superpowers, and he is one of the most powerful heroes in all of DC.
And beloved.
But he has one of the most... When you think about it, I don't think Quicksilver has the exact same effects, because I think it's the Speed Force that fucks with the Flash.
Probably, yeah.
Because the Speed Force alters a lot of the Flash in terms of his... not physiology in terms of where his organs are, but how his physiology behaves.
Yeah.
Because the Flash can not only process things faster, I think the Speed Force allows them to even develop photographic memory of some sort. So that's the thing.
Yeah.
The Speed Force allows them to do a lot of other weird stuff. But, yeah, definitely a very strange hero.
For sure. So, you ready for the next one? This is one that you may not know. You may know, but I'm not sure. We've got a DC superhero called Bouncing Boy.
Yes, I know that one.
You know that one, okay. Basically, so He's a guy from the 30th century, as most amazing superheroes are.
Legion, yeah.
Basically, there's a game on. He grabs a soda, he drinks it, but no, it's not a regular soda. It's a matter-altering formula.
Wait, is this really his origin?
That's his origin.
What the fuck?
So basically, it plastifies his body that makes him able to blow up into this big ball-shaped humanoid thing on command.
Yeah.
And that is his superpower. He can...
Yeah, he appears in a few episodes of Justice League Unlimited, I think.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, in one episode, sorry, actually, I think maybe 2. But yeah, it's just such a weird power. Just, no, imagine this. It's like the Justice League's like, oh man, we're throwing a party, but we want to get like a volleyball court going, but we don't have a ball. And he's like, don't worry guys, I got this. Or no, it's like Darkseid. It's like, I've come to destroy Earth, and someone's like, we'll beat you in a volleyball match. Fine. Did you bring a ball? We brought bouncing
I am the ball.
I am the ball.
Toss me around.
They're playing the game, and then like the Justice League scores, and Darkseid says, that's not fair. Game's rigged. Why do you say that? Because the ball's on your side. That's a great skit. That's a skit waiting to happen. That's fucking genius.
I'm starting to think this doesn't really work, because I'm not really feeling
down.
No, really.
That's kind of depressing.
I mean, your joke just now didn't really land, but that's about it. I don't feel really depressed or anything. So, what's up, depression pill?
So we're sponsored by products that don't even work. Swolo Gym works though. Don't worry.
No, Swolo Gym works.
It's not a thing yet.
You don't see it on us.
Work. Yeah.
But there's compelling evidence online.
Yeah, it's called Last Jedi. The memes.
Yeah.
But anyway,
okay, now this is another one you may have heard of. His name is Armfall Off Boy. Guess what his superpower is?
Does the arm grow back at least, or
he can reattach it?
Okay.
Basically, it drops off, and then he uses his arm as a weapon.
Frankenstein has the exact same abilities. I fail to see how that makes him unique. What? Where is he? DC or Marvel?
DC.
DC. Fuck's sake, DC.
DC has some of the most interesting superheroes, I will say.
Interesting's an interesting choice of words for it.
Oh yeah, because the next one also a DC superhero called Matter Eater Lad. By the way, props on the naming of the
Matter
superhero.
Eater Lad.
By the way, Matter Eater Lad and Bouncing Boy both. Guess who created them?
So it is.
It's Jerry Siegel, the guy who created Superman.
How do you...
It's like you come up with probably the greatest superhero ever, and then you come up with these guys. It's like, how do you even do that?
It might be one of those things where, like, he came out with Superman that maybe like 3 or 4 in a row that were really good, and Stan Lee and all the others were like, oh man, it's not fair, Jerry. It's not fair, Jerry. And Jerry's like, sorry guys, I'll make up some other weird shit ones.
Yeah.
Matter Eater Lad.
Well,
Bouncing Boy with a power to bounce.
Here's the thing. Matter Eater Lad is a superhero in DC Universe. He's a member of the Legion of Superheroes, which is, by the way, the collection of probably the worst superheroes ever, and possesses the power to eat matter in all forms, as do all natives of his home planet, Bismol.
So his power isn't even unique to him?
No.
That's shit.
It's the same power as anyone from planet Bismol.
Bismol.
What kind of a fucking name is that?
It's quite abysmal. Sorry.
Sure.
Couldn't help myself. But what? Just... like...
I didn't laugh at that.
If you're gonna I'm thinking just like, if you're gonna come up with a superhero that's dumb, at least make them unique.
Dude, I didn't laugh at that. I don't know if I should be excited or depressed, but this may work.
You feel like writing a depressing scene right now?
No, I feel indifferent. I feel absolutely indifferent.
So you feel nothing?
No. I'll just keep going.
It may take a while to work. We're just letting you know. The depression pills.
Yeah. Right. So.
To be honest, I don't think anyone laughed at that joke.
No. So the next one is called Ambush Bug.
Oh, I've heard of this one. I don't know what he does, but I've heard of this one.
I kind of forgot what he does.
He's in DC Universe, the game. He appeared in it at one point.
Yeah, so he is a DC superhero. Basically, he can teleport.
Okay.
He has broken the fourth wall, in so much that even like the mascot of DC Comics, Johnny DC.
Yeah.
There's a version of him as his greatest supervillain, because they keep checking his continuity. He doesn't really have superpowers. He just looks dumb. That's really...
Ambush.
Also, apparently, there were a couple of ambush books during Flashpoint. They were like a group of people who opposed the Amazons. They pretty much all got killed.
Doesn't surprise me.
No.
If you're gonna go up against a group of warrior women, you're not gonna really... No, unless you're Kryptonians or Atlanteans, you're not gonna stand much of a chance. Let's be honest.
I kind of think about it. I'm not quite sure why I wrote him down. Maybe because he's that useless.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. He's just a useless hero who does nothing. It's fair. It's one of those things where I think some heroes have really absurd names. One of them of which is Plastic Man.
Yeah.
Dumb name, but he has a pretty useful power.
He has a useful... Oh, well, that's the thing, because like, on the website I found out that people think his power is ridiculous. But then, you have Plastic Man, Mr. Fantastic, Elongated Man. They're pretty much all doing the same.
They all do the same thing, yeah.
So I'm not quite sure what's so ridiculous.
And the thing is, like with Plastic Man, he can actually... And we'll get into...
You can shape into an egg.
Yeah, he can shape into anything he wants. And that sort of brings me to Elongated Man. If you've been watching Flash, the TV show, Elongated Man has just appeared in Flash as sort of one of the new, I guess, helpers for Barry Allen. And he has developed the ability... Not developed, but he has the ability to shapeshift and even replicate the voice of anyone he can think of. If he knows what the voice of the person sounds like and what they look like, he can replicate them perfectly. And that to me is a really... And
that's
obviously
really
he can stretch out and everything,
superpower.
but that is a really useful superpower because they actually do use it. I'm not going to spoil too much about that episode because where it's developed, because it's a bit of a big thing in the episode. But it's a really useful power when you think about it. So Plastic Man can probably do something very similar.
Yeah, it's about that, yeah. So here's another one. This guy's name is Color Kid. 3 guesses what he does.
He colors things in.
No.
Draws things and they come to life.
No.
He can change color.
Close.
Oh, fucks.
He can change the color of anything he touches.
Oh, God. What does that achieve?
Well, basically, the idea, he was rejected for a lot of like superhero teams with reason. Basically, the idea is that he would touch like the sky or something, and he would change colors, and enemies would get confused.
You can't touch the sky.
Well, that's what it says on his wiki page.
That's clearly just written by some fanboy who thinks he's actually interesting. But you could just imagine like. I'm not sure if they're in this list. We'll get into them in a second. But we're just going up to the Justice League. Hey, can I join the Justice League? What's your power? Whatever I touch, I can change the color of.
How does that help? Well, enemies get confused.
I could change the Watchtower's color to being black, so it's disguised in space. Well, what happens when you look at it from space towards Earth and it's just this black smudge?
I can make it blue.
You're in!
Kid. You're in.
The other one is the Wonder Kids. The Wonder Twins, sorry.
Oh,
basically, the Wonder Twins can turn in... One of them can turn into whatever animal they can think of. The other one can turn into
whatever
water.
Object.
Or, no, object, I think maybe water, I think?
A bucket of water, yeah.
Yeah, water. Anything water related, so even vapor clouds and shit. But the problem is with that... So, actually, no, that one, he can transform himself into water, but it can either be water, vapor clouds, or just clouds in general, or ice. So, but oddly enough, you look at those, they can turn into whatever animal they want, or they can turn themselves into whatever kind of water they want, and therefore like the thing is, it's not like massively corrected, like in terms of like whatever, like they can create the mass of the water at will. Think, it's not that bad. So, they can only do that when they touch each other. They can only activate their powers by touching each other.
So basically, one of them called Zan, which is the guy, can transform into water at any state, solid, liquid, or gas, and add to his mass by incorporating water in his immediate area. So he has to be around water.
There you go.
To make it happen.
Pretty useful. It could be useless and useful.
Oh, but he can change into other things like liquid nitrogen as well.
Okay, so anything liquid based that can become a solid or gas form, presumably.
And I love, by the way, on the wiki page, they say Jaina can transform into any animal with a real mythological indigenous to Earth or some other planet, like Beast Boy. So basically, she's like Beast Boy, but she has to touch her brother's fist for it to work.
Because the Teen Titans Go, despite it being an awful show, did an episode where Beast Boy leaves the team. The Wonder Twins join the team, but the Titans only accept the Wonder Twins on the basis of her powers.
Well, yeah.
And they end up making the brother the receptionist. And the thing is, every single time they come into a fight, she has to run all the way back to the Titans Watchtower to do it. And then run all the way back to the fight.
Yeah.
And like, to me in the end, I was like, why not just have them there anyway? But that shows you how dumb the show is anyway.
You can just make he can turn into water, go
just
under the feet of whoever they're fighting, just turn into ice.
Yeah. Like,
think creative, people.
Yeah, I obviously it's a kind of a weird, shitty kids parody show that is not good at being a parody show. But either way, it's just not. It was one of those things where they're clearly not that, like, they've appeared, I think, also in an episode or two of Smallville, and the thing is though they seem like such useless characters. In the end. Like, that's the thing.
Actually, I'm reading here. The guy can actually turn into anything related to water or ice, including frost giants. So he is kind of useful.
I think
he just never does it.
Yeah, I think the useless element for the two of them is the fact that they have to touch one another. They have to fist bump. So if they're not near one another, they're fucked. That's the principal problem with them. You separate the two of them, they're screwed. That's the main problem. Or cut off their hands. Really extreme. That's something Joker would do, but still it would work.
It's maybe a bit much.
Still, you're sick and tired of them getting in your way. But they're just such a weird, like, I mean, it's a weird handicap. But anyway, yeah. I'm just fair. I think it's no longer the case, but Shazam had that problem where obviously because he has to say the word Shazam.
Yep.
Then, whereas now because he can no longer be called Captain Marvel.
His name is now Shazam, so every time he introduces himself, he goes, "Fear not, citizen. For it is I, Shazam," and then he gets hit by lightning.
It's like, dang, not again. Fair, DC has written up the continuity now so that that's no longer the case. He has
to say it in a specific tone.
Yeah, a specific tone, or like he has to put meaning, he has to put thought into the word as well. That's the thing. So something along those lines. But the problem is, going into like the Young Justice Season 3, I'm a big fan of Young Justice, so I'm looking forward to coming out. Problem is, in Young Justice, he was Captain Marvel for 2 seasons. Now he's going to have to be Shazam. And the thing is, that's the way it works in that show. That when he says Shazam, he turns into Shazam. Or into Billy.
Yeah.
So, they've got a real fucking problem. And the thing is that bothers me about with the whole Marvel thing, it's like Marvel saying, oh, well, Captain, it's our thing. It's like, well, no, because Captain Marvel has actually been around as long as Marvel itself. So, Shazam Marvel, that is. So I don't... Whatever, I'm just annoyed. But anyway.
It's fine.
Moving on to other superheroes.
We've got some more. Have you heard of the Great Lakes Avengers?
No, I have not.
Right. So the Great Lakes Avengers, also known as probably the worst superhero group of the Marvel Universe, consists of a couple of people, of which one is called Mr. Immortal. Literally his only superpower is he can't die. Whatever he does, he cannot die.
So he's basically like Vandal Savage.
Yeah, but Vandal Savage still has he's been around for like centuries, if not millennia.
And to be fair, he's actually done stuff with his immortality, I guess.
Yeah, but like he's also grown stronger. He's done fighting stuff. Mr. Immortal has not. Like he's born, like I think he's in his 20s or something. He literally just can't die. That's all it is. He's not a particularly good fighter. He doesn't really do anything interesting. So, but he's the leader of the team anyway.
Yeah.
Then we've got Flatman, which is basically like Plastic Man, but
just makes himself flat.
Yeah. There's like 3 DC superheroes with like the same power at this point.
That's Marvel though.
Oh yeah, right. Sorry, he's like
So there's
Fantastic Four.
two more. There's two for Marvel.
He's like
and two
Mr.
for DC.
Fantastic, basically.
Yeah. There's two Marvel. And
Which
two
is
DC.
pointless, but okay. Then we've got Big Bertha, which is like just a really big woman who destroys people with her weight. Which I don't know if that's a superpower or just plain obesity. But I'm not. You know, she should probably get that checked out.
Because at the same time you think, oh, Big Barda, but at least Big Barda's a badass.
Yeah, and you know
she's a warrior as well.
A warrior, and Big
she's
Bertha
a new
is
god.
She's big. So
I could have that superpower as well if I just sat at McDonald's for the whole week.
yeah. And then we've got, so basically there's a superhero here called Doorman. Funny enough, I once created my own superhero also called Doorman. So I'm gonna explain both because I feel like both fall into this category. Basically, Marvel's Doorman is a superhero who basically his body is a portal, right? But it only teleports to the other room. So basically, if you try to touch him, you phase through and you go into the other room. And basically, they use him when there's no entrance to somewhere. He just falls flat against the wall, and they go through him, so they go through the wall.
Wait, if it's his body, how does he do it then?
Well, he just jumps into himself. Yeah. I won't get into the specifics. It's basically, he goes into his own stomach because he's very, he doesn't have any mass, so he can bend a lot. He bends into himself, then grabs the walls from the other side and pushes himself in. It makes sense when you have.
It makes
draw
sense
like
in the
one
comic.
panel.
Yeah, makes sense in the comic.
Now, my version of Doorman is a little bit more sensical, but also nonsensical. His superpower is opening any door and holding it open for other people. That's it.
It's fair. That could be kind of useful when you actually no. Both heroes kind of have their uses, but yours is more so because if you're trying to get into a facility, though, and it's locked, and like even Superman can
not locked door, open doors.
Oh, so he can't even open locked doors.
No, he doesn't really like. I haven't really. That's
fair,
acquired.
like,
it's an acquired power. Like at some point, he will get like the key that fits every door, but like his actual supervillain is called the Locker, and he stops him by locking doors, and he's like, "Well, now you can't enter anymore."
Just to be fair, it's one of those things where I was thinking Lex would love this guy. It's like, how do I get into the fortress? Just get Doorman.
Yeah.
He gets into the fortress of
Well,
solitude.
there's a difference because Marvel's Doorman is called Doorman. My version is called the Doorman. It's a subtle difference. The problem is I wanted to have something happen with it. I even wrote a script for a film that's about 80 pages. But then I found out that Marvel has a version of that character as well, which was one of the rejected superheroes that I had once, which is literally just a doorman, and they say he holds doors open, he hails cabs, that kind of thing. So I don't know if I'm really original at that point. At the same time, I wrote an 80-page script and they only wrote one panel. So I think by laws of effort, I get the copyright on that one.
Yeah.
If you're listening, Marvel,
he will sue.
And I'm willing to collaborate.
Oh, there you go. Or either one.
Yeah.
Or you'll replace your version of Doorman with his.
Yeah. Or I swear to God, I will go to Dark Horse. They'll take my idea. Or Icon.
Or DC. DC will fuck you, Marvel. You copy us, we'll copy you. Give us the Doorman. No,
I don't know if that's something to be particularly proud of.
No.
But yeah. Doorman.